be available for those folks that haven't been able to attend tonight. So again, my name is Jennifer Cox. I'm the supervisory park ranger here at Gateway National Recreation Area in Sandy Hook for the Interpretation and Education Division. I'm here with John All. He is the Community Volunteer Ambassador this year. You might have remembered Lloyd Crawford last year. He was here until around early July, and then he had to leave for personal reasons. So we're really happy and thankful we were able to hire John this year for the 2023 piping plover nesting shorebird season. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to review some of your volunteer rights and responsibilities. What exactly does the Shorebird Ambassador Program look like? What are folks going to be doing this year? What is our purpose? What is our mission? And just to review a couple of other pieces of information included in this webinar. Again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us in the chat and we'll try to get back to you. So just to give you an idea of some of the information, the education information that we share with our visitors, the flyer on the left is some information about piping plovers and the threats that they encounter while they're here during the summer season. They have to deal with a lot of potential hazards and threats, such as climate change, development, a variety of recreational activities that are going on the beaches, as well as predators like opossums, raccoons, other avian birds, ghost crabs. And unfortunately, the numbers here at Sandy Hook are climbing. That would also include fox. And again, this on the right hand side is a flyer that we give out to folks to let them know who we are, what we're doing, and how volunteers can help us spread the word about protecting piping plovers, as well as our other nesting shorebirds that visit us here at Sandy Hook. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the piping plover, what they look like, how to identify them. Some of these photos have been taken by our volunteers, Don Manalo, Bob Hillman, and then there was somebody else that I borrowed some photos from, Kim Smith. But just to let you know, and again, I know all of you probably know this already, but the males are usually larger, a little plumper. They have a darker crescent-shaped headband. They also have a dark collar around their neck. And their beaks are more predominantly yellow than the females. They both have yellow legs. And again, the females, it's a paler black cap as well as collar, and their beaks are a little more black than the males. And as you can see, the eggs are speckled, they're tan, and they blend perfectly in with the sand here at Sandy Hook. So just to review a little bit about Gateway, was established in 1972. We have 26,000 acres that we protect and preserve. Most of that is water, but it also includes coastal areas that you'll find in Jamaica Bay, Staten Island, and Sandy Hook. Gateway's 26,000 acres extends from Sandy Hook, New Jersey, along the south side of Staten Island to Jamaica Bay and Breezy Point in New York. And Gateway was originally assembled from city parks, military sites, and undeveloped land. Gateway weaves together history, nature, and recreation areas to create an extraordinary national park. So believe it or not, Gateway National Recreation Area is the fourth most visited park in the national park system. And we have about, here at Gateway, we have about 9 million visitors per year. At Sandy Hook, we have 2 million visitors per year. And of course, our busiest time is between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. Just to give you an idea about the beaches at Sandy Hook, there's 5 major recreational beaches. From south to north, you have Recreation Beach B, which is an unguarded beach. Then you have Recreation Beach and Lifeguarded Beach, Area C, what we call Charlie. Area D is also a recreation and lifeguarded beach. Area E is a lifeguarded recreation beach. Gunnison Beach, which is a clothing optional beach, a recreation and lifeguarded beach. And then lastly, at the northern end of the park, we have I Beach, also known as North Beach. And John All will talk a little bit more about those beaches and those areas that we're going to go to this coming weekend for the Symbolic Fencing Project. So just a review of your rights as a volunteer. We always want our volunteers to work in a safe environment. We want to be able to provide the same fair use of personnel practices as paid staff. We want to make sure that volunteers' time are used effectively and efficiently. We don't want you to have to undertake any assignments that you don't want to do, as well as receiving appropriate orientation, training, and supervision. We always want to make sure that we're recognizing your efforts as volunteers and giving you an opportunity to provide input into our volunteer program. And just keeping in mind that we do have supervisors assigned within the volunteer program. That would be myself, John, and this year, just to let everybody know, as of the summer of 2022, all of our permanent staff retired, and we're starting to fill our permanent staff with new employees. We've hired 2 new permanent staff members. Their names are Nick and Michaela, and Michaela will be taking over the volunteer program as well, and you'll get to meet her eventually this summer. So let's just to review some of your responsibilities as a volunteer. We want to make sure safety is the highest priority. You're going to be representing the National Park Service in a professional manner. You're going to be following the park's policies and guidelines. And of course, we'll share all that information with you. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to us and ask questions. We're here as a team. We want to make sure that everybody is providing a quality and professional job and interacting with the visitors in a professional manner, respecting access to information, facilities, and equipment. If folks can let us know when they are going to be absent and they're not going to be able to come out to the park and volunteer, which is fine, but just letting us know and making a good faith effort to resolve any kind of differences or problems that come up along the way. So this is a picture of John and Michaela. Again, Michaela Turner is the new permanent ranger, and she's going to be overseeing the volunteer program here at Sandy Hook. And we want to make sure that we're providing safety on the job. So if there are any kind of injuries, please let us know. If there's anything that comes up while you're out in the field, make sure you have the dispatch number 718-354-4700. And this shouldn't be a surprise to everyone. This is what we call the volunteer service agreement. This has been updated since last year. And so if you haven't completed this, I know that John has attached it to a lot of his emails, and he'll have copies of it on hand when we are out there this Saturday and Sunday. But before you volunteer in the park, you have to complete a volunteer service agreement. And this just makes sure that you're covered if anything happens to you while you're out here in the park. It's for protecting yourself. as a just in case, or a what if something happens, and hopefully that never happens. But again, this is the protocol for all volunteers when they're volunteering in a park. And I also wanted to mention before I pass it over to John that there is something what we call a volunteer pass. It's a National Park Service pass given to volunteers when they donate 250 hours to the park. And it could be to this park in addition to another park, national park, or a Fish and Wildlife Service site. But if you donate 250 hours within 1 year, you can get a volunteer pass, which will give you the ability to enter a park for free. And it's good for 1 year. So keep that in mind. We are going to keep track of the hours that you donate to the park. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me or to John. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass it over to John, and he's going to pick it up from here.
Thanks, Jen. Hi, everyone. This is Jonathan All. As Jen said, you can all just call me John. I'm the guy who's been sending out all the emails. So nice to see you all, at least in a digital format. And I'll be talking today about the Shorebird Ambassador Project as a whole, but first I'm going to start with just the string line fencing event we'll be doing next weekend, this weekend, if all goes as well. We are keeping an eye on the weather, and there is a rain date set for March 25th, Saturday, March 25th, same time as this one. So it's going to be 1:30 to 4:30 if either of the days gets rained out. But I want to talk a bit about what we'll actually be doing. So string line fencing is a form of symbolic fencing. It's not really meant to keep anyone or anything out. It's just meant to sort of section off the areas where the piping plovers will be and serve as a visual warning, which our Shorebird ambassadors will help reinforce over the summer. And what you're seeing here is Bee Beach that was shown before on the other one. This is what we'll be doing on Saturday. You can see these lines on the slide are where we'll be digging out the holes, setting up the signs, and attaching the string line. Again, that is going to be about a 3-hour event. It's going to go from 1:30 till 4:30. You're going to meet at B lot. And I want to let everyone know that, we ask you to bring water or snacks if you think you'll need it, to dress appropriately. And there will be a unisex bathroom nearby. So just everyone, keep that in mind. And then on Sunday, we will be we'll be going to North Beach, which you can see here is going to be sort of the more intensive effort, a lot more ground to cover. I also want to point out, you can see here that it's a lot further away. To get here, we're going to be meeting at I lot. And you can see we'll be further away from a bathroom. So we want to make sure everyone's prepared for that as well. But even though it is more ground, we do also expect to have this completed in the same 3-hour window. So again, it's going to be 1:30 to 4:30 both days. First day, meet at B lot. If you're doing the Sunday one, meet at I lot. Now we'll talk about the actual fencing process. The main tool we're going to be using for the string line fencing is going to be a hole digger, demonstrated here by my predecessor, Lloyd Crawford. It's pretty straightforward. You just stick it in the ground vertically, and then you pull the handles apart to scoop up the sand, and then just pull it out and deposit it to the side. This is, this is bending and lifting, so we ask that anyone who wants to be a hole digger be prepared for a bit of exertion. And if you're not comfortable with that, we do have other less intensive ways to help, unloading the signs, helping set up the signs, doing the string line fencing itself, which you'll see in this next slide. It's a pretty straightforward event. It's just going to be a 3-step process. We will line everybody up, and we'll give you a demonstration on how to use the hole diggers. And then we'll have you all spread out and start digging evenly spaced holes. After a hole is dug, then we insert the sign in the hole, and then simply we just establish the string line with little orange flags on it to serve as a visual warning to our visitors to give some space to that area. And that's really it for our volunteer event. I'm going to talk about the Shorebird Ambassador Program as a whole now.
What happened?
I'll just,
Yeah, you want to use the.
all right. So the Shorebird Ambassador Program, first I want to stress that this is going to be primarily an educational role. We want volunteers who are going to help in public facing educational efforts, kind of community outreach stuff. One of the main ways you'll be helping out is by manning an education booth at one of our beach plazas, either C or G beach plaza, depending on how many volunteers we get. And when you're working one of those booths, you're going to be distributing information on the piping plovers. And with the help of park employees, you're going to be doing what we call pop-ups, which are short little activities to help raise awareness about the piping plovers. We'll also be asking our volunteers to do things like sort of patrol the areas, talk to guests, answer their questions, kind of let them know about some of the rules we have, about our leave no trace policies. We're a carry in, carry out park. The rules and regulations we have regarding pets on the beach, alcohol, smoking, can't do that on the beach. You can't have loud music on the beach, and that's also related to the plovers because they do scare at loud noises. The volunteers are going to be working shifts on a weekly basis. And we know everyone's got their own plans for the summer, so we appreciate whatever time you can give us. And I think pretty soon we're going to be asking you to provide us with what you think will be your hours. June and July are the most important months for us. And then after Labor Day weekend, beach volunteering really starts to wind down. But really, we want to get people for those 2 months in the summer. Now, when you're patrolling as a Shorebird Ambassador, we're going to be giving you some gear. We'll be giving you a backpack. What you see here is what you'll be carrying around in your backpack. Most important thing is going to be this clipboard with the observation sheet. That's going to be recording your visitor outreach, how many people you interacted with. That's what the counter's there for. We're also going to be asking you to take note of any shorebirds you might see. And when you're done with those shoots, we ask that you do turn them in at the end of your shift, either if that's in person or if you scan them at home and email them to us, we do ask for them back so we can keep accurate stats. We'll also be giving you binoculars for your own birding, a camera for any shots you see. We'll have a guide that's both for you and for any visitors that might want to ask questions, a first aid kit to carry, as well as bug repellent, hand sanitizer, and sunscreen. So we're going to make sure you're well equipped. We'll also be handing out some gear for our volunteers. We ask that you wear identifying material. We're going to be giving you shirts, either a polo or a t-shirt, as well as a hat, and we'll be giving you a water bottle and a badge and other various bits of swag you can kind of take home. So we'll have you fully kitted out. Our Shorebird ambassadors will be well prepared for the upcoming programs. Finally, after our string line of fencing event, the next thing we'll be doing is an in-person training. We ask all our volunteers to attend. It's going to be Sunday, April 30th, and it's going to run roughly from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to take place at the Spermaceti Cove Life-Saving Station. That is between lots D and E. There's going to be, like, right after lot D, there's going to be a little parking lot, and that'll lead you right to the Spermaceti Cove Life-Saving Station. And that's really it for everything I wanted to tell you. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at this address, or you can reach out to Ranger Michaela or Ranger Jen, or call our visitor center.
Right. Okay.
Is there anything else we want to cover, Jen? Or
I don't think so. I don't see any questions.
okay.
Yeah. So again, I think we're gonna end this and give you back your time. I think, did you get even, Peter?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
Hang on, we got a question in the chat.
when will you make a decision if there's a rain out? That's a good point. I think we'll probably make it the day before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Day before, we'll send out an email to everybody and letting you know.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Ed.
Any other
Um,
questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great. Thank you everyone for taking some time to just listen to the information. And we'll be sending out a recording to everyone who couldn't make it tonight. So
Yep.
We'll see you all on Saturday and Sunday, hopefully, weather permitting.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank
All
you.
right.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye.